Hi, and welcome to Style Thoughts by Rita, where today I'm talking about Lupita Nyong'o and whether she is a soft classic style icon. If you by chance have not heard of Lupita somehow, please visit her IMDb page or her Wikipedia page. She is not just an incredibly beautiful woman, but a very talented and accomplished actress, children's books author, etc. But of course, in this video, I'm just talking about her style. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you of my own guidelines for these typing videos. Lupita has not officially been categorized by David, so everybody is just speculating on her ID. I'm offering my opinion, and you are very welcome to come with yours. I have obviously not met Lupita, so I'm talking about how she presents herself with her stylist and the wardrobe she chooses, and what her star image, I think, is and what that is based on. And that being said, Lupita is often described online as a soft classic celebrity, so let's see why I think this fits her. As a refresher about the soft classic, you can of course visit my soft classic description video. But basically, the soft classic woman is meant to be balanced between yin and yang with a touch of extra yin. What balance means in this context is that for a soft classic woman, neither her frame nor her curves are dominant visually, but rather they complement each other. So the soft classic woman doesn't have the visual strength or length of a more frame dominant woman, but she also has a stronger visual frame than a curve dominant woman. So she's really in this in-between point. And in addition to the frame curves balance, the soft classic woman does have slightly more yin. So she has a curvy build in Kibbe definition of the term, and she has some extra yin features throughout, maybe in her face, her hands, etc., whatever these things are. And here, of course, I just have some soft classic Kibbe verified celebrities from my video. So let's look at Lupita. Does she fit the soft classic description? And as always, starting with the vertical line, Lupita is reported to be around 5 feet and 5 inches. And here she is with some male collaborators for scale. To me, she is not a short lady, but she definitely is on the shorter rather than longer side. Here's Lupita with Naomi Watts, who is also reported to be around 5'5". And here's Lupita with Jennifer Lawrence and Zendaya, who are both a few inches taller than her. I guess they're like around 5'8" or 9. So I think we can conclude that Lupita probably is around 5'5", maybe 5'4", 5'6", somewhere in between there, which leaves most types open to her, including the soft classic. And Lupita has blessed us with these pictures of her on the beach, and I think we can say from these pictures and the previous that she has a moderate vertical line. To me, she doesn't look tall or short, so that is already obviously creating a bit of this balanced perception. And she's also very rounded, and her entire body is really composed of gently curved lines, even though she's quite muscular, which some people like to conflate with yang. So far, from what we've seen, I think soft classic seems like a good fit for her. My question is whether Lupita's frame is strong or whether it is balanced. Perhaps Lupita is simply a soft natural, so she would be then a woman with a moderate short vertical line, a curvy lush body, and a strong visual frame. So I would be open to people saying that, but my feeling here is that Lupita is just a muscular soft classic. And even though she has some, what we can say is visual width in her upper chest and some musculature on her outer shoulders, which is amazing, I don't think this is like something that actually disrupts her yin and yang balanced look. Ultimately, I think also if we look at Lupita's face and her figure, the overall gestalt, she does not seem to have the blunt yang, which is sometimes described as width. In her face, I think she also has a very rounded and balanced look where neither her bone structure nor her flesh are dominant. Here's where I am open to viewer disagreements though. I honestly think one could argue that she's a soft natural because soft naturals have a strong yin undercurrent. They also have, for example, yin facial features, yin curviness, maybe smaller rounded hands, whatever. However, as I've said, I analyze celebrities as kind of living mood boards, and I'm going to show you in this video why I think Lupita is a really great icon for soft classic style. So even though I'm not 100% sure about her as a soft classic, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Lupita is a soft classic, and I'm going to talk about that. Again, I could really see somebody arguing for Lupita being a soft natural and making a somewhat convincing argument about it, and who knows what she's like in real life. And I want to be upfront about that. So that's why I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. But I don't know, yeah, to me she's very soft classic. And all that being said, let's look at Lupita's fashion. Lupita, she's an incredibly beautiful, well-dressed woman who really has like an amazing stylist, or I guess like several stylists who just really have brought her to like the forefront as a fashion icon. I wanted to start off with some super basic outfits though to discuss what balanced classic lines look like, because I feel like I haven't done a lot of classic videos on my channel. In these clothes, we can see how softly rounded and moderate Lupita looks. I love her in these kind of like top of the leg jackets because the length, because they really highlight the symmetry of her shape. And I also chose these pictures to start with because these jackets really bypass her waist, but her waist is still suggested because of the cut of the jackets. So because she does have some sort of like underlying frame, this balance, she doesn't need her clothes to always show her waist. She doesn't look like boxy or overwhelmed, even though her waist is not being visually highlighted. But you can see also how the outfits are creating these moderate, rounded lines throughout. Here she is in a bit of fancier outfits, but again, I just think she looks really beautiful in these mid-length jackets, so I just wanted to show that. And also note the beautiful color and detail coordination in all of these outfits, which is what I will discuss now. So Kibbe writes that for the soft classic star image, classics should use an ensemble approach to their style. This means that everything is coordinating to become one kind of part of a cohesive whole. And this does not necessarily mean like matchy, but it means that nothing in the outfit really pops out, but rather that your eye takes in the whole look as a cohesive unit. And this is like the Kibbe thing, right? This type of approach to the style mirrors the concept of the soft classic woman as not being curve or frame dominant, but rather being at a balance point between the two. So here's Lupita in a quite matchy outfit. She has the black, red, and white theme. She has a bag which picks up the pattern of her dress. The shoes pick up the bag. The sunglasses and the belt pick up the dress. So the outfit is really coordinated. The outfit itself is actually very animated and interesting. She has a fun, exaggerated shoulder detail. She has the contrast print on the skirt and the sleeves. But it suits her to have this coordination in the outfit without looking like a caricature of like a matchy outfit. And I wanted to start with this look because, I think sometimes people think soft classic can only wear the simplest, most understated looks. But let's look at a bit of a more simpler, perhaps more stereotypically soft classic outfit. Here's, I think this is like a dress with a little jacket over it. Once again, she has that crop jacket, which looks so elegant on her, and it really suggests her waist while skimming it. She has this pink and yellow color theme throughout the outfit. The lines of her outfit are rounded and simple, and I think that, obviously she just looks like the most beautiful kind of fresh spring breeze here. Here are two more outfits which I think have a very soft classic vibe, not only in their lines but very much in that stereotypical sleek, sophisticated, fancy lady styling. Note how the silhouettes are well tailored to Lupita's body and they highlight her curviness. Note also how she uses the ensemble styling approach of a classic. So she brings the same color and detailing throughout her outfit, so there's no one focal point for the outfit, but rather that all the pieces are cohesive. I think these outfits are really fun because I could see them easily looking like, I hate that word, but matronly on somebody else. Like they just look a bit like you're like dressing up as some caricature of a fancy lady, but I think Lupita does not look like a caricature of anything. She just looks like a very fancy lady here, and I think that's fun. But you can see the same approach here in a more casual and relaxed outfit. So not only the colors coordinated, but the visual elements of the outfit. The top has the thin stripes, so she has a handbag with this very dainty chain, and she has the sandals with the thin straps. Again, the shapes of the outfit, she has these rounded soft lines. The top cuts off right at her natural waist. The cut of the top also shows off her shoulders. Through the coordination of all the different elements, Lupita is really in focus, even though her outfit is very interesting, fun, animated, not at all boring. Let me show you some more coordinating outfits. Here Lupita takes a shorter line, and note how she doesn't look as leggy in these outfits as some of the more yang dominant celebrities, even obviously her legs are amazing. Yeah, even though she's wearing shorts, she really elevates the outfits and makes them look more polished while keeping the lines simple and clean. I just love all three of these looks so much. Here you might think that these looks are not so self-classic because they're loose and relaxed, but once again I think it's nice to see how Lupita makes it work by bringing the ensemble approach. So on the left, honestly I think the coat is a bit too boxy and angular on her. But when she teams it with that little boxy bag and the sharp shoes and she keeps this color scheme, it works, right? And then in the middle she has a bit of a boho vibe. But you see how like the red, the gold, the black are repeated throughout the outfit, the soles of the shoes, the bag color, the scarf, the sunglasses. The loose coat is matched with the softly structured bag, the hat. And we have the same idea on the right. I mean, on the right, notice how matchy she is. She's like the band on the hat is matching her bag color. I mean, it's like everything is really working together. And again, she can pull that off so beautifully without looking like it's like try hard. And here are three outfits which have a very similar flavor to the previous ones, but where she doesn't use like as intense coordination. And while I really like the coat in the middle photo, to me, these outfits do not look as nice as the previous ones. Of course, maybe it's just a matter of personal preference, but that's what this video is about. And when I compare these outfits, I think the difference really is that the coherence makes the difference. So in the outfit on the right, she has the slouchy beanie and the scarf in one color, the pointed boots in the other color, the structured bag in yet another color. So to me, it just looks less harmonious than the one on the left. And look at this dress. I would say this dress is almost like flamboyant natural. It has a very bold geometric print. It has a lot of width in the shoulders. It has a long line. It could be overwhelming on Lupita, but she built her accessories around the dress. She's matching her earrings, the shoes, the bag to the colors of the dress. And so I think she's looking really put together and lovely. In my opinion, that's what separates the middle outfit from the left and the right. To my eyes, the middle outfit is much less overwhelming on her and looks much more like natural on her, even though all three dresses feature a medium vertical line, kind of like an intense visual pattern and this gentle waist emphasis. So I think the ensemble approach really is what brings it together. Finally, the ensemble approach also gives Lupita so much flexibility. Like, I think the left look is very stereotypically flamboyant natural boho. The right look is something maybe people want to jump onto as like a gamine look because it has a lot of visual interest. But note in all three outfits how much visual cohesion there is. And I mean, of course, Lupita can get away with many styles because she's just insanely crazy beautiful. But still, I think there's an interesting perspective here for other soft classics. Okay, well, let's look at something that I think classics are really stereotyped into: sleek and chic, elegant, and simply tailored clothes. Anyone who watches my channel knows that I often complain about these Pinterest representations, which position women as having only one option in terms of their aesthetic. But obviously these interpretations are based in reality to some extent, and the balanced, symmetrical look of the soft classics means that they shine in simple, clean, softly tailored garments like sheath dresses, even though, as I've talked about before, stretchy sheath dresses do not have an image ID and can look very beautiful on most women. But still, Look at Lupita's stunning elegance here. I mean, I think these dresses also like, lengthen her vertical line in a really beautiful way. You don't really see her looking tall here, but it looks very like statuesque. I mean, it just looks amazing. And these simple dresses are just like a beautiful showcase of her insane beauty, I think. I also like her in dresses with some more visual interest, but which still have this kind of a soft and minimal silhouette and these very soft minimal accessories, these like dainty little earrings and so on. That doesn't mean she's boring though. Even though she has the blue dress with the blue accessories, she has this very interesting crossover neckline detail. She has quite bold and funky makeup, but nevertheless, so it's kind of like a balance between fun and minimal. And here's an example with, I think maybe a romper, maybe it's shorts and a blouse, but they're gold. She has what I think are matching velvet shoes and bag here, and these minimal earrings, but some gold also in her rings and the shoe trim, and she just looks so sophisticated and so lovely. But yeah, I don't want to dwell here too much, as I think elegant occasion wear is not a staple of most people's wardrobes. So instead, now that we've talked about how amazing and gorgeous and perfect Lupita looks, let me show you some of her outfits, which I personally don't really like, and let me tell you why I think they don't work for her. Just want to remind you that I'm a regular human with biases. Lupita's free to wear whatever she wants, and you, my sweet viewer, are completely free and even mildly encouraged to disagree with me here. First, let me present you these outfits. I guess they're all obviously meant to be like fun and fashion, but to me they just really don't work. Again, note that Lupita really is doing her signature matchy-matchy look throughout, but the silhouette of the outfits just really doesn't work for her, and I think it's also interesting to note that she looks uncomfortable in all these pictures compared to the ones we've seen before. I think what doesn't work here is the short, very like flared out skirts, which exaggerate her silhouette too much, combined with the over intense print and style. It just looks like she's trying really hard and not pulling it off to me. Exaggeration in general, I would say, doesn't really seem to suit her. Here she's clearly feeling herself in these two outfits, which draw her shoulders to a fashionable extreme. But yeah, to me it just looks costumey, like too costumey, even more so than meant to be. Likewise in these outfits, where she has wide-legged, oversized length pants, she looks so happy and free, so I hate to criticize her, but honestly I just think the pants look too overwhelming on her. She's just lost in them. In these outfits, also very cool, but to me, just not her best. Likewise here, where she exaggerates her vertical line with long coats and on the right with long skirts, just looks wrong to me because she's creating a long and a wide line, which really doesn't follow her body, and she doesn't, I think, just doesn't have the structure kind of to support these very oversized looks. That's also why I don't like these dresses. So the one on the left I think is actually pretty okay because it's like closer to her body, that's why I included it. Whereas the ones on the right, like not only too long and too loud, but also too wide. So it just seems like too much on her altogether. And a controversial take, these fit and flare style dresses seem often to be recommended for soft classics, but just not into it on Lupita. I feel that the straight lines of the dress skirt are really not congruent with the gently rounded lines of her body. Here's obviously, so maybe you disagree with me. I think the dress in the middle is like quite pretty and the outfit on the left is fun, but to me the silhouette looks awkward on Lupita and introduces too much angularity to work for her. Okay, but enough critiquing, let's look just at some more beautiful pictures of Lupita. If you've seen her on the red carpet, you know she loves dresses with beautiful fairy tale skirts where she can like swing them around. And she loves just like swishing them around in this very, very festive way. I don't really have any cool analysis here. She's just a princess, and I wanted to show these gorgeous dresses on her, but I do note how there's this kind of like waist detailing and this V-neck, this like delicate floatiness. I think that this is a style that works great for her. I feel maybe also at this point you think Lupita is overwhelmed by most things that are long, so I just want to tell you that I don't think this is the case. She isn't petite, and even though she doesn't have a powerful visual vertical, I think she can pull off longer things. So, okay, yeah, it's tough for Lupita where she wants to create strong width and vertical, which really doesn't follow her build. But when she adds tailoring and brings the clothes to her body, she looks so much more harmonious with these looks. I think these are outfits somebody would recommend maybe to like dramatic or soft dramatic women because they're so long. But I mean, they look great on her. And it's not like, oh, she's wearing something that's off. I mean, she just looks wonderful. And we've seen her in sheath dresses, but I think these figure hugging gowns are equally sophisticated on her, even though they're very long. Again, like she doesn't really have a strong vertical, but it looks nice when she wants to wear something vertical. These dresses are both really long and flowy, and I just think they look gorgeous on Lupita without being too simple, because they have these decorations on them. Again, I think part of it is the streamlined shape and that very deep V, which we've seen in her other dresses also, which really helps kind of like focus the look. And then I think it also comes to personal preference. So I think some people might feel these outfits are a bit overwhelming on Lupita, but personally I like them. So I guess it's also like what can and can't you wear? It's like not really a law. Whereas these dresses seem to me to overwhelm her too much, but I think lots of people think they're really great. To me, the prints just seem a bit overwhelming, like the strapless look, I don't know, something. I just don't like it. Here's Lupita in two somewhat more casual outfits with long lines. So on the left, I think the intense print is a bit too much for her, but I still think she's rocking both of these looks. And I just wanted to show this dress because I love it on her and I don't have much to say about it. Okay, but this is like Lupita as a classic, basically doomed not to do too much and to stay safe while, you know, girls like Rihanna get to have all the fun. Here are some pictures of Lupita in outfits that seem a bit too wild for her. And obviously these are all meant to be outfits that are over the top, especially her Met Gala look in the middle. But sometimes seeing things like this, we might think that Lupita has to wear like plain sheath dresses for the rest of her life. And I see sometimes people kind of thinking soft classic has to be very muted always. But many of Lupita's outfits feature fun prints, bright colors, or high contrast. And we saw that in the beginning also, but I wanted to like remind you of that here at the end of the video. The style is very much hers, so the prints and colors are not overwhelming. They're not like breaking the rules in any way. Sometimes I think Lupita turns the intensity up even more. So here she's wearing very animated patterns and colors using the ensemble approach. I think these outfits are really working for her, even though they're not my favorites on her. Here she is in some very vibrant prints with a lot of animation and visual interest, and keeping the lines and the accessories really simple. I don't know if I would say any of these dresses are her absolutely best look compared to the other outfits, but I mean, I think she looks really lovely here, and not just because she's a gorgeous actress, but because there's just a lot of flexibility in what she can do. In formal wear, she can also carry off quite a lot of drama and excitement, so like these tulle skirt trains, the shimmery textures, I think are really fun. Or these giant bow details on the dresses. And again, partially it's because she's a beautiful actress, but I just wanted to end on this note because I think it's true of all soft classic women that there is no need to choose clothes that are as simple as possible, and just to remember that there's always a range to the expression of everyone's personal beauty. So that's it for today. Lupita is a goddess. Thank you for watching and see you next time.